Dear, as I had been expressing you, what is even written in the scriptures and talked about by the man, that man is the holiest of all. Nothing is there in the creation of Lord God which can be more important than the human being. That this is sufficient that we have got the human body. Be very poor, very weak, maybe in very undeveloped countries or in any other condition. But to be a man is something really wonderful. That human body is also much wonderfully made than other species of life. But it is only outer comparison which I have been able to give you. But if we take the inner setup of the human being, nothing is there which can be compared to the man. It is only God. He is God, but without human body. Here we are perfect God, but covered with the human body and some other bodies. And this is given for purpose to us, so that we may be able to work in this world. Because it is a law that as you are given some kind of arrangement to work somewhere, you will have to be, then you will be able to do. Otherwise it is not possible. God is really God, wonderful God in His holy heavens, where He is to work in His own higher self, which is really something of the highest state. And that God and kingdom of God is also the same, and He can work and make it kingdom of God, His own kingdom nicely. But the lower situations which are there, which are controlled by the negative power, that were not to be controlled really, but these were really to be taken up by God Himself. But He arranged that certain kinds of arrangements should be given or to be taken by me, that I may be able to work in these lower worlds, and these real lower worlds which are being handed over to negative power are controlled by me. That negative power is not having its own kind of control, and that it would be my control and my blessings with which my children will be all happy and wonderfully going along. And negative power can be used as servant, as an agency to work in this world. This was the main idea. And when man was created by God, in scriptures it is written that He called all the angels and even the devils, evil ones, and ordered them bow down to this holy man. It was the expression of God toward the man, just man. What is all this? Maybe of any kind, out of 5 billion population, everyone is included in this expression, holy man. And that all the angels were ordered to bow down to the man. What was the reason? That God had really made the man in His own image, in His own pattern. And that if you have to see God, to find God, and what He looks like, and what are His qualities and way of working, you can go inside you and you can see what is God, what is kingdom of God, what are His authorities, His competencies, what is His perfection. All these things are written in the scriptures, but we cannot understand it, because understanding doesn't come with some kind of telling. If a blind man is told that this is a nice flower, yellow flower, this is white flower, and this is pink flower, something like that, and that he will go on listening to you, but will not be able to understand what is pink, what is white, what is yellow, what is blue, because he has never found any such like thing with which he can have even an idea that what blue looks like, what white looks like, what other colors are there looking like, what is flower looking like, what is moon or sun look like. He will be not able to imagine even all these things which you are telling. In the same way, when we have never seen God or kingdom of God or angels or any higher living beings, maybe of astral, causal or supercausal planes, if something is informed about and mentioned about this in some scriptures, it will be some kind of only imagination. We cannot even really imagine it will be something wrong imagination, what we may be able to call. Then what is the real way that we can be told? That is when we see. And that had been the way of all the masters. And in the Bible also it has been proclaimed that I have come to make the people see who do not see, because seeing is believing. And that is why God has also placed in us His own self and also His kingdom, not only for the purpose that He may see me and believe me, but also use and enjoy and also may bless all the world, all the three worlds which are in our connection. In scriptures, especially in Adi Granth, it has been told that you are not to only enjoy me and my blessings yourself, but you can give, rather you are ordered to give to everyone. Maybe you are a stranger, maybe you are enemy, maybe anybody who is there, even the lower species of life, they are also to be blessed by you, because I have such a big sources, boundless sources, that you are authorized, rather you are ordered to give away everything what I have kept my all doors of my treasures open for you, and I am not there for the purpose that you may not feel shy, that the owner is there and he will look at me, how greedy person this is, and that I will put my back to you so that you may feel free to take any quantity, whatever you like, and go on giving, go on wasting maybe, but I will never ask you, but I will appreciate it, that how much you have enjoyed, how much you have given others to enjoy, and how much you have been able to help other suffering people, that there are no one who is suffering. This is the expectation of God from us, that as is the condition, situation in the kingdom of God, nothing is there which is to suffer. Nobody to suffer. There is no provision that suffering can be there. And even if someone may like to suffer and may search for suffering, you will not be able to find. Because there is no provision, no existence of such agencies which can cause suffering to you. It is only life-giving, the enjoyment-giving, peace-giving, love-giving, and everything nice and wonderful giving agency, which is God, permanent in everybody, in everything. Everything is 100% made of that light, and everything will be valuable. There may be gold and gold everywhere, but there are no ornaments made of gold. But what is the use of being ornaments? Gold is there. The value of the ornament of gold is due to gold, not due to structure. In the same way, over there may be any structure, may not be good structure, but everything is godly, of the same essence as that of God. All life is there, and everything is wonderful. There is nothing there which can be little changed, little down anywhere. And this world has been made like this, that this is only full of sufferings. There is no trace of any enjoyment of peace in this world. And that if you say that I have enjoyed something, I have found something better, and this is sufficient for me, I can live upon it, that is some kind of misunderstanding, because you have been become such thing, that which is only to be worked upon that you have worked upon only at the level of mind and intellect. That if you are in wilderness, you are on your horse, and there is plenty of grass over there, and ask the horse, is there anything missing? Is there anything hard for you? How are you going on? You feel fine, wonderful. But if somebody asks you, how are you? You will really cry out that I am lost over here, I don't know the way, that I was sleeping on the back of the horse, and the horse was traveling, and I was sleeping, I did not know which way or where the horse had taken me, and now it is evening, and that the day is down, and I don't know what will happen to me. The night is there, horrible one. What will happen to me? These are the two conditions. One is of the horse, because horse is only limited to some kinds of things which are available everywhere. But the man is there who is to have one's own necessary provisions. In the same way, what is there useful for mind, maybe more useful, maybe less useful, that is available always to the bodies. Even the dogs and cats who are wandering in the streets, or these birds which are there, or the animals of wilderness, they are also going along. With maybe more difficulty, less difficulty, but going along nicely. Not really that they are in great problems. But the man is there, which is totally different. And that we are souls. If you ask the soul, what is your condition? How are you? Then it is totally lying dead. It has no even existence. As you feel in yourself, your mind is there, intellect is there, body is there, and family is there, relatives and friends are there. But where is your soul? It is nowhere. You cannot know there is soul in us, as in the general situation of all the people of the world. Never anybody has told that I have soul or you have soul. I have got kingdom of God. All others, some people have got that there is God in all of us, and that we are the temple of living God. This is the house in which God is living. Nobody, never. Not a single person out of 5 billion of population will be able to feel in oneself and may be able to tell to the other this kind of information. Perhaps you or some of you, not all of you, also will be able to tell something like that. Why I say some of you? Because those who have really gone inside, have really come over the ignorance of the mind, that you have been able to suppress the ignorance of the mind and has been able to put your light of God, which is the light of knowledge and wisdom, and that you see and enjoy God, kingdom of God, and mind also begins to enjoy God and kingdom of God, and then mind and intellect both will be able to say that there is God, there is kingdom of God. This is the point which is really now very much to be touched by you, that although you have seen something of God or kingdom of God, enjoyed also something of God and the kingdom of God, but it is only just at the level of the soul, and that is very weak. As yet the impressions of God and the kingdom of God which are there in the soul are too weak, and that the mental impressions of the materialism is very strong, and that as a net result the soul is just silent, and mind still goes on talking and living at the level of its own living standard in the physical world. And it may take some time. And when you really have been able to convince the mind, and wherever you go, you talk about God, kingdom of God, and you feel God, that is body temple of God, and you are here, and everybody is having God and kingdom of God, and everybody temple of God, then right understanding has awakened in you. And that right understanding when has awakened in you, then that's a great success. That the enemy which was there to keep you in darkness of ignorance, now is not able to throw darkness upon you, the soul, as soul was also not able to see anything and find anything or to feel even its own self. But now the light of God which is there available to the soul has become so strong, and that continuously you have been working upon it, and the darkness has been driven out. May it take some years, maybe some months, but it is to be driven out. Any substance, let it be, which is dirty in your house, if you begin to clean it, the time will come that it will be all out and your house will be totally clean. There will be no dirt in it. In the same way, all this darkness which is there, polluted our house and totally made upside down everything, will be also cleaned out with the light and holy sound of God which is there, provided in you, in every one of you. Light shineth in darkness, but darkness comprehended it not. That the man is yet closing the eyes and covering the face with the blanket. Sun is already there with the light. Oh, there is light in the room. But one could not see because only eyes can see. Other blanket cannot see, your other body cannot see, and therefore it was only in darkness. That's why in scriptures it has been told that light shineth in darkness, but darkness comprehended it not. What is darkness which is mentioned in this sentence? That darkness is of the mind and intellect. They cannot see this light. Who can see the light which is from light and which is itself light? And then it will then witness the light and will emerge in that light and will become one with that great ocean of light, life, knowledge and wisdom, and then it will become really living. It will have its life. And there you ask the soul, what is the life? It will show you. It will not tell you, but it will show you. And then you ask the mind, what is life? And then you ask the intellect also, what is life? It will say, I cannot tell, I cannot express, but I have. Some time back, I was in darkness, and I was only given this understanding that all this death system, which was moving as moving phantoms of death, that dead bodies which were moving, that I was told that this is life. And that now I came to know life is very great, very wonderful. In Him is the life. In Him, God is life, and everything is from Him. That all consciousness which is there, that is from God. That is also in us as soul, and that is life. And when we come in contact with this life, then we begin to live a wonderful life, and forever, for eternity, that life will remain life. If some person is now quite healthy, you cannot say that this person is healthy, will remain healthy. You will say, I can fall sick, I can fall ill, I can die also. Sometimes somebody asks you that, please come tomorrow morning. Okay, God willing. You lay down a condition, something. God willing. God willing, you may say, or some kind of negative power willing. Because really negative power, mind is controlling us. If God willing comes into our life, that will be certain, you will be there. God will not create any problem. God will help you to do everything what is good. But we are unable. And that the things are totally upside down. At any moment, any kind of drastic change is expected, any kind of accident, any kind of incident. Our life is full of accidents and incidents because all those things which happen to us uninformed, without notice, and just instantaneously, that can be called accident. And everything which is accidental, incidental, that is called. It's not that if some injury or death is there, that only is called accidental, or which is occurring on some road. Anywhere, if I have asked myself, seen that there was a couple, they were just going on with their, and something happened to the woman, and something was in her mouth, and other morsel was in her hand, and she went down. No more. This is also some kind of accident, which we do not call because it is just instantaneous, just never expected. There was no disease, no other problem, but it happened. Because there are certain things which cannot be in the knowledge of the man. Man may claim himself to be very much having God knowledge and wisdom, but still he is on the just ocean of the knowledge, just on the bank. He has not yet entered into it. Because all knowledge and wisdom is in God and in our soul. And when we awaken ourselves as soul in the kingdom of God, with God, therefrom our knowledge and wisdom and our existence, our life principles start. And then at certain stage we become perfect like God, that God is all knowledge, all wisdom, all competencies, all light, all life, all compassion, and all love, all peace. Everything is there. What is wonderful in Him, that all is there in Him, and that will be our own existence. And what is it? We are suffering over here, some problems, some worries, some incidents, accidents, or something which is called death, that will never be there. Even we cannot imagine, we cannot even feel, we cannot dream of such like things which are not related to us, which are only related to the materialism, the lower part of the existence of God in physical, astral and causal planes. But we have been given the life of the soul in the kingdom of God, with God of the fifth plane. And if we have been given this, and it has been awakened also in us, then why should not be really lucky ones? You go to the astrologers sometimes and feel like that they will tell you something. If I say that I can tell you your future, all people will come to me. Tell me something, tell me, you will show your hands. What my lines tell you. You will be very much interested. I will tell you will die. Very good information, wonderful, and very true. And that you will not like to listen to it. But is it not the truth? That you have to do, everybody is to die. This is 100%. And why do you go to astrologers? Because they will not tell you this. They will tell you some things which may be hard, but all things they will tell you good, nice, wonderful, this way, that way, this way and that way. Then you will be able to give them $10 to that person. And he will be happy that he has succeeded in his trick to please you with some kind of good future, but it was all some kind of made-up stories. He was only concerned with his money, not with your fortune, not to tell you anything. It is his business. But my dear master has no business. Master is only concerned with the truth. But he is not only to tell you the truth. After telling the truth, He will tell you, okay, my dear, come to me, O ye the weary and heavy laden, I will give you peace. I will give you rest. I will release you of all the pains, all the worries, all the sufferings, all diseases, and there will also be no death. Because now I have found you, and you may not have found me. Doesn't matter. But I have found you, and you will have to find me. As the case with the mother and the child. When the child is born to the mother knows this is my child. Child doesn't know what is happening, who is there, who is not. Child is just innocent, totally ignorant of everything. But at least mother is having all this knowledge and has love, has all compassion and has all sympathy with the child. Child knows nothing. And that at least one-sided love is there, and that begins to work. In the same way, when a master initiates some person, the persons are not really feeling connected, and they are not feeling that there is something good, something wonderful, something useful from the master. What is the master? They look at him some strange person. However, after initiation, there is a little change, because soul is awakened, and soul finds something, some peace, some fragrance, some love, and some good feeling inside, and also finds something to see and something to hear, and which is not something ordinary, which is something very, very soothing, touching the heart. That if the wind comes from fire, heated up, it will touch you, and it will really feeling just wonderful, as you had been suffering from the cold. There is something which is soothing you. It is not ordinary wind. It is wind which is having something in it, and you could enjoy it. Its little availability. In the same way, all this light and sounds, all this music, which are there going on in this world, this is nothing. But when we find something inside, that is all a part of our life and goes on pushing us all the good things, and a regular source of supply is there, and we have to enjoy everything what we see, even we do not see. And that is really wonderful. And that the master knows that this is my soul, and that the master takes seat with the soul, but soul knows no doubt. But between the soul and the mind there is not yet connection. And the mind is still outside, and still only feels like what is outside with the body, mind and intellect, and outside in the world. And when he feels like connecting to inside, then the mind will know what is inside, and then will be able to understand and will be able to know what great is God, what great is Master, and what is the difference between God and Master. In Scripture, it has been told, and in the Bible also, such like expressions are given, that God came in His own self, as He spake through the mouth of His holy prophets, who have been since the world began. That there was a body, but in the body there was God. If there is water with me, you may ask, where is water? I will direct it to this cup. This is water. You will say, it is not water. We cannot see something. It is only cup. But you will also understand this container is there, and what is contained in it, that is also there. But perhaps you will believe only what is contained when you look into it. Then you will believe. And that is there that all of you are God. Nobody is there who is not God, kingdom of God, and all microcosm, everything is there in you. But why could not you feel? Why could not you imagine? Why you could not enjoy? Why you could not avail all this? Is it something dangerous? That if you just go near to a lion or a snake, it will bite you. They will devour you, kill you. It's like that. Rather, all what is outside in this world, which is dangerous, that we feel like living in this dangerous world by providing some kind of safety arrangements. That all the people have to arrange some kind of safety. And after having arranged that there is all safety now, there is no difficulty, no problem, no danger, then we feel like it will going along. But everybody will have to make some arrangements. And why it is necessary? Because this is a world where there are dangers and dangers. But in the world which is given to us by God, which in us, there is nothing like that. Anywhere you go, you will be all honored because the seal of God is shining on your forehead, and everywhere you will be respected as the holy child of God. And all will have to first bow down to you, and then respect you and offer you everything, and you will be considered as the chief guest and rather the owner of everything, and they will themselves feel like themselves to be your servants, your slaves, and that a great life will be there, and that you will be able to enjoy. Nobody will ask you, who are you, where from are you, why are you here? No question will be there, but everything is already understood everywhere from God. Even if we are in this world will also have to respect us, because the powerful God is there with us, and this negative power, which is no doubt anti to us and anti to God. But when God comes, then it will have to bow down, because God has mighty to the negative power. And we have done this great blunder, that we have used only those things which are weaker than the negative power, and every dog which is weaker dog, goes to a stronger dog, have to put the tail under the legs and head down. Cannot pass with a stronger dog easily, respectfully, or without any difficulty, without any danger. So everywhere we are going along like this, if somebody is there in front of stronger, okay, my dear, good morning, good evening. And if somebody is weaker than us, then we expect, he will say us good morning, he will say good evening, and we will keep ourselves straightforward. We will not bow down to anybody. This is we are working of the mind, because mind knows and that there is no love, there is no respect, it is only power. That he who is powerful will be availing its power, and who is weak is no more. To be weak and poor, it is the biggest curse in this world. One cannot live in this world with poverty and weakness. Everywhere one will have to go through very, very shameful, very, very horrible, very, very troublesome. That it will not be life really. That if you are always to bow down, always to be humble, just to pass our days. And this style of life is there in this world. And that how we can be rich and also powerful. It is only God. Because we may find all the riches of the world, but still we are weaker than the negative power, which is controlling at the causal planes. Nobody, no kings, emperors could also become powerful, more powerful than the negative power. They had also to die. They had also suffered. They had also been diseased. And they were also always finding difficulties and problems. And the reason was that there is something more powerful than them, and they could not enjoy their own standings which they had acquired with great and great powers or great struggles. Still they are under some control. There is somebody who is stronger than us, who is very cruel. that cruel one will not leave any opportunity. That wherever you are found, it will really try to kill you. It will try to do everything to you. Wherever a cat will find a mouse, it will not lose the opportunity. Even it may be have a full belly, but still it will kill and may not be able to eat it. Will leave it, but will kill it. Because it is tendency of the cat not to leave the rat or the mouse just alive. This is also the feeling of the negative power that cannot feel any person who is living and enjoying. Everybody is to be dealt with very hard, very hard, very hard. It is a natural tendency. Then how we can feel like living in such a condition? But mind has got such a tendency that it goes on, goes on. It has got no understanding and no feeling also. And that when you are given this way of life, and then soul really enjoys it, and mind and intellect also begin to enjoy, then mind will also not like to live in this world, because mind is now also shining in the light of knowledge and wisdom. Because the mind was also previously in the light of ignorance, light of which is outside light, which are sun, moon and stars. These are also not of knowledge. These are also some kind of lights of darkness, which show you that I am light, but really it is darkness. How it is? That it will show only how to grow up in that great darkness. And that light, which is light of life, that is taken away by this outer light. And you are only to go on groping, go on stumbling, and go on suffering in that great darkness, which is darkness of every horrible situation, all suffering, all problems, all worries. So then this light which we are having in this world, from sun, moon or stars or other lighting objects, can we be calling that it can be helpful, or it is helpful? It is not helpful. Although mind feels like that I can work in the outside world with this light, but this working in the outside world is dangerous. That it is generally told that it is better for a thief or a dacoit to sleep, to keep sleep. And if that is awakened, he will do some kind of havoc. And that is better that if we are working as mind, body and intellect, we will go on sleeping. There may be always darkness. There should be always sleeping state. Because if we are awakened, we will do something wrong. And that our soul will suffer, and we will keep away from the kingdom of God, and we will go on collecting karmas under law of karma to suffer here and to suffer later on us. That what we will do, it will be something dangerous. Because this system is like this, that anywhere the child goes, there's all mud, dirt, and all atmosphere is full of dust and pollution, and the child cannot with any of his efforts will be keeping himself safe. So this world is valley of death, where evil rules with sufferings. Everywhere there are horrible things to catch the mind, and the mind is persuaded to every direction with certain kind of very, very attractive things, and both those attractions are real cause of very, very horrible consequences, very, very horrible. And how can we save? This is the great problem which is going along in this world. It is a problem. And why it has been told to us that seek the first kingdom of God. If you are to open the eyes, open those eyes with which you can see kingdom of God, and awaken yourself, which can be awakened and can find kingdom of God, and then find it and then live with it. And after you have found kingdom of God and God, then you can use your outer physical body organs to see, to hear, to talk, to walk, or do anything else. In Indian mythology, it was very much clearly told in that culture that some past wise people had divided the age of the human being into 4 parts, taking the body to be average of 100 years. Their first 25 years are to be just kept as only for finding connection with God and kingdom of God, which they call Brahmacharya ashram. This technical word, which is termed as Brahmacharya ashram, is meant that system or that actions which we are to do, which are to find God. And in this 25 years, it can be latest time. So many people will find earlier. But let it be maybe up to 25 years, or let it be 1 or 2 years more also. That first it was designed that the people are to find God and the kingdom of God, no responsibility. Nothing else is to be told or to be done by the born children up to the age of 25. And after they have acquired God and kingdom of God, then they were allowed to work in this world. And after age of 25 years, then they were allowed to go along with the worldly life and to support other 3 parts of the life. Because first part is not earning. The childhood up to 25 years is not earning. That is also to be supported by the people who are living in the age of working system from 25 to 50. And after 50 years, then they have to go into the forest in some kind of hermits and go on then working strongly and really awaken to be oneness with God and to perfection of God. And after then they had really acquired all those treasures from the kingdom of God and perfection of God. Then they were asked to go to the people of this world and tell them, guide them, and help them for the later part of their life, what is remaining with them. And that these 2 portions of the life were also to be supported by the one portion which is working portion of the life from 25 years to 30 years. And that was quite sufficient because life was quite simple and there was great blessing of God, and the angels were also working because all these powers of God begin to work. Because when there is God in you and you are needing something, God will take care of you. God will work like your mother or like your father as you are children. This is duty, really wonderful duty of the mother, and she will feel like serving the child with everything. In the same way, God will provide from His own. I am the bread of life, I am the water of life, eat me and drink me. So it is not something that God is only still saying that you have to earn, go along. But you say, oh my dear, there is nothing which you have to do, there is nothing you have to earn. I have everything. You are going on using and you go on also giving away to all others. All stocks are open for you. And the life was such wonderfully organized that it was really wonderful. And now you will be imagining that in the first 25 years of the age of the child, when one has gone up to God and found God, can there be any difficulty, any problem, any suffering, any disease that you will find? Or there will be anything where you are feeling hard in your business, in your or any other dealings or other concerns? Because God will take care of everything, and God is perfect, God knows everything. He is a doer power. Everything was made by Him. There was nothing made that was not made by Him. And then you will be able to maintain yourself If you are married, you can also maintain the married life. And if you have children, children will also be maintained by God. Because it will be all responsibility of God. Yourself, your life companion, or your children, your family, your relatives, friends, whatever is there, God will take care of everyone, everything and everyone. Because He feels that I have got this responsibility and I have got such a great treasures. And that is my duty. I feel my duty. That where I am to work for my children, wherever I am. As you also feel that whenever you are in your family, wherever you have your children, you feel like helping them. And in the same way, God has also feeling to help all the children. Not only if God is in you, it will not only help you or your brothers or sisters or family members, but wherever you will go and you will have any thought for anybody, or anybody looks at you, that will also be concern of God to help all the persons. In this way, really the life of the man will be wonderful in this world. And after having made our life wonderful here, then it will continue forever, because the life's arrangement which has made our life here in this world wonderful is still continuing. Because that wonderful lifestyle which has been given to us is given to us at the level of soul. Soul is eternal, God is eternal, kingdom of God is eternal, its relation is eternal, and its all stocks and supplies are also eternal. And therefore, this our life, which is our own life, will connect with such a system which is really of our own standard and godly standard, is to continue, that is really to satisfy us. Because mostly the people of this world miss this other part, which is very important and very long term. They only take care of this life, which may be of 70, 80, 90 or 100 years of age. But there are also not so good arrangements or sufficient arrangements that we may be able to really satisfy this part of life successfully. All of the people becomes unsuccessful. Everybody has some kind of problem, troubles and worries, which they try to get rid, but it's not possible. But still we go on feeling like, because we do not feel any other alternative to it. And we still feel that, okay, let us try, let us go along. But there is no idea that the really unfailing system is there in us. Why should not be adjust with that? That is a great problem. And that is existing in us. But this mind will not accept it. Mind will not understand it. If there is understanding of this upper, higher, unfailing arrangement, that is only soul. And you are soul. And you are to be awakened as soul. So, my dear, fully awaken it. Not that you are just in a dozy state. The mother goes to the child and calls the child, my dear child, get up and take a bath and take your breakfast and go to school. The child says, okay, yes. After half an hour, again mother comes, child again sleeping fast. He again calls the child, my dear, I have told you, get up and take a bath and take your breakfast and go to school. Okay, I will do it. And mother goes away, and child is again down. Because child has not really awakened itself. It is yet in 75% sleeping state. It was only in 25% that it was awakened. And therefore, when the awakening agency has gone away, the sleeping agency, which was more powerful, has again taken over the what was awakened. It is again sleeping. But the mother is just not to leave the child in this way. She is to just take the child out of the bed and put it under the shower. And when the shower is over, and then serve the food, and then give the satchel, and then take, okay, now you can go. Now child is fully awakened. Child will not now go to sleep again. This is also the state of our soul, that such a drowsiness has occurred upon our soul that is very hard to keep it awakened. And their mind is very much successful in taking the soul away. That is, attention is taken away from this light and sound and wandering somewhere in some kind of thoughts, worldly thoughts, or some kind of sleeping. And if we have sit for meditation for 1 hour, 2 hours, in the end of 2 hours or 3 hours we feel there's nothing. Because really we have not meditated, we have not come into this state of meditation. And that it will take some practice and some very active posture which we will have to adopt, with which we will be able not to be overcome by sleep. It is generally told that we have to take bath before sitting in meditation, and if you cannot due to some reason take bath, at least wash your hands and feet, and you have a little walk around and that you are really shaking off your drowsiness. And after that, if you sit in meditation, and then you will be feeling like meditating, and still there can be some sleep, or there can be some drowsiness, and that you may try to check up, as I have told you story of Baba Jamal Singh Ji, that he used to bind his hair with some string which was tied with the peg in the wall, and whenever his head was going down, at once there was a stretch, and was again awakened. That these things which are there hard from negative power, these are there for everybody. We will not leave anybody hindered. But if we are really having will to do something, then anything which is a hindrance and problem, we will feel like overcoming it. We will be able to do it. Where the will, there is a way. And that ask the Master Power to help you, and he will also help you, and then you will be able to really go along the way of life. And what is difficulty in the world? That is only difficulty when you are helping practice not with you. When God is not with you, anything of this world which we have got will not be able to help you. What does it profit a man if he gains possessions of the whole of the world, but loses one's own soul? Some people have their bodyguards with them, but some people are killed by their own bodyguards. Because all those bodyguards are not your bodyguards. They are also minds. And mind cannot understand, cannot know what is its duty. Whenever the mind will feel doing something opposite, he will do something opposite as instigated by the negative power. And your bodyguard cannot be your bodyguard. And if there is any bodyguard, that is God. And he is responsible, and he says that I will never leave thee nor forsake thee till the end of the world. And he takes your seat, he takes his seat by the side of your soul as bodyguard. Not only guard of your body, but guard of your family, your relatives and friends, and your soul, and now the inner setup and also outer setup. Is there no such like bodyguard with you? And is there any high payment for it? He demands very high wages. He is totally all free. Rather, he has come to you and has offered his service to you. You have not called him, but only in love, not for the sake of any worldly profits or any kind of rewards he has come to you, but he is only to bless you in love and that He will be able to serve you, and you can believe Him. And He is only one who is believable, dependable, and really having something like competency that He can do something great. The worldly people may have sympathy and love for us, but sometimes they are helpless and they feel that I cannot do anything, now I am helpless. Then what to do? Then we are also feeling helpless that all these ways and means which were available to me in this world I have tried, but this could not work, these could not fail, they have failed. Sometimes the doctors also have to declare some cases hopeless, because their knowledge is also limited, their power is also limited, they are also they are not God, because it is only work of God, that which is totally hopeful. Never there is anything which is hopeless in God. Everything is possible in Him. There is nothing impossible in Him. Therefore, in Him really we can believe. So if there is anything really believable, really who is dependable, that is your own God power, which is your own. It's not that you have to go to somebody for help, but you are only to just turn to the other side and you will find it. That your helper is there on your side and you are only to attend to it. You are not to go anywhere. You will find it. So it is so easy to find God. It is so easy to find the kingdom of God. Some people say that there are so many ways which lead to God. But where is the way? Ways only if you have to travel some distance. That you have to find some this way, or that way, or this way, or that way. But if somebody is just your own self, then what is the way? You are only to just go inside. And that has been told in all the scriptures, that enter ye in at the straight gate, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to life. But still there will be very few who will find it. Because the mind which is instigated by negative power in no negativity will not believe it. But there will be some. And there had been always. And those who could believe and find, they did get to lead themselves. And they were really enjoying. Lucky ones, most lucky ones. And that I can also say, you even lucky ones, that 2 stages of your development in human body has been gone through. First is that you had found a human body. That was great, or we can say greatest privilege. If God is happy with anybody, with any soul maybe of angels, that He is very happy and feeling like blessing that soul, He will give the life of a human being. Because this is the only existence in His creation which is most highly privileged, highest privileged. There is nothing which is better privileged than the human beings. Even the angels are very jealous upon the human beings, that what blessings this human being can find, we are deprived of it. We cannot. We will remain suffering, and we are also suffering, because although they are living in causal planes, much higher than this, but there are also devils over there, evils are there, and there is always fight and war between both good and bad, and the devils are stronger than the angels, and angels are always tortured by them. And if they are to end their suffering, which is the place they can go? They cannot go to God and kingdom of God, because there is no provision of God and kingdom of God in them. Their bodies are not having this life provision, and there is no master for them. And that they are only to go along whatever is there with them. and then they just cry out of their fate. That what is our fate? Only to suffer, only to suffer. There is no end to it. And that it is only possible. Then God says, okay, my dear, don't worry. If you feel like to end your suffering, I will give you life in the physical body of human being. And God says this very pleasantly, very mercifully. And that if those lucky ones find this, that is okay, then they will really be blessed. The human body. But what is the blessing of human body when we find the human body? That is second step. That if the child is born in the family of the king and doesn't remain in the family of king and goes to some poor persons, wretched persons, then what is the use of having birth in the family of the king? One will have to remain in the family of the king where has been given birth. Now all other living beings, other species of life, maybe of water, maybe of air, maybe on the dry earth, they are also having this birth in this world in which you are living. But there is great difference between their life and your life. Your life is connected with God and kingdom of God and your souls. So your lifestyle is as soul in kingdom of God with God. Bodies may be just used just for your purpose, that it is a house in which God is there, kingdom of God is there, you are there, and you can avail all these facilities with this body. But if you do not use your higher life of kingdom of God, God and your soul, and you only use your body in connection with the outside world, then you are no more better than the animals or other species of life. Rather, you will be under great control of the law of karma, and you will have to suffer much more here, and also will go to hell after leaving the physical body. And instead of that, we may avail this opportunity that this blessed body was given to us for ourselves being blessed. We turn it into some kind of curse due to the ignorance which is already there, that we have not accepted the words of the Master. Still, I have to impress upon you that nothing is there, that you have to listen only words of the Master, as he spake through the mouth of his holy prophets, who have been since the world began. And that those who accepted him, they were saved, they were protected, and they were really lead. But those who did not, it is a very hard condition. It is just the opposite. Instead of being blessed, we have found ourselves cursed. And if you have also got through the second stage, that you have been initiated as soul, and now you are awakened in the kingdom of God, and you have been connected with the holy links, which are to go on releasing you more and more from the clutches of mind and matter, and you are further taken up and up, until you are in the highest state of life. Because this human body is not just to start with this life of the soul, but to travel whole of the journey in this life and reach the goal. Because if you can accomplish it in maybe 10 years, or maybe 15 years, or 20 years, after leaving the body, if this process is to be continued and you have not reached in this life your goal, maybe millions and billions of years will take for you to accomplish the further journey. Because this is a certain kind of season that so much help is there. Although feel it hard, that so much worldly responsibilities are there, family responsibilities are there, so many of our own other problems and worries are there, but we have to shake off all this. And then go up and meditate and accomplish your journey and God will take care of all your businesses and everything. My master also used to say, if you do my one work which I have given to you at the third day center, I will perform your 100 businesses in the world. I will take care of everything of you. All these things which are there from the mind, that this is your heart, this is your pretend, this is your pretend, that is all mental delusion, illusions, and some kind of cheating action to keep you away from the meditations. And it is there that when you start meditation, so many things will be coming to you. Outer disturbances, your own physical bodies, some itching, some flies, some mosquitoes, some other things will be there, some telephone calls will be there. So many things will be there, knocking at doors will be there, so many things will be there. And so many thoughts will be there. Those thoughts which you had not even imagined ever. Maybe 50 years back, things which had happened will also come to you at once. They will call you, oh, attend to us. That they will try to withdraw you from above. That every kind of effort is done by the mind to bring you down, to detach you from God. But my dear, if you feel that it's all treacherous game, only game which is being played by me, I am to neglect it and believe Master and believe God and go along. Especially in India, there are certain kinds of practices that they have to conquer over some kind of evil spirits. In India, it is not now so much, but in the previous days, it was very much. And when some evil spirit is conquered, then they used to get work out of them, which was very much supernatural. Very, very efficient work was there. As I had also, my initiate in India, he had also conquered a evil spirit. And he was telling that, he was asking that, go to US and do this work. Just in 5 minutes. He was going and doing work and coming back. That his work has been accomplished. Now anything else? Such like is the competency of the astral beings or causal beings. They have got really big powers. But when they have to capture them, to control them, they have to go through very, very hard systems. And they have to keep on meditating on some kind of mantra or some kind of object they have to keep in mind. And sometimes they find that all the hell is falling and all the mountains are falling, all the volcanoes are blasting and the doves are there. And if that person loses heart and that is afraid of running away, he will be killed. And he was telling that so many people had been killed who were by my side, who were my co-workers, who had also this idea of having hold on some evil spirit. And it was I lucky one who could find it successful. Then I could say to him that they were also unlucky, but you were also one of those, if you could find it. And that devil was then just cleaned out and was released from him, because it is not lawful to get any work, any facility, any usefulness from anybody else than God, because anything else you find from anybody is dangerous. If you get work from some human beings, your fellow beings, it's not so hard. But if you get work from some astral beings, causal beings, very, very high payment has to be done over there. Very, very costly. So what's the use of it? Live a simple life. There are also some people in this world who are called spiritual healers, or some kind of have some natural or supernatural powers. They should never do it, never feel it. Totally simple in this world. And become one with God inside. From outside, it should be no feeling that you know nothing. You have not even knowledge of this world even. But from inside, you are fully awakened. But all that which is inside you will go on helping you, protecting you in this world, and you may go on working just normally, peacefully, and very, very simply, but God will be always with you and will take care of everything. Nothing will be there, but you have to take care of yourself. So, my dear, this world is very hard. I am not to declare it hard. It is really hard. If I say something that is very good and it is very bad, it will not help you. If I say something which is very bad already and I say it is good, it will also not be helping to you. I should say what is reality. And not only saying will be sufficient, but I will say you, it can be helped that what is good, you will find it, and what is bad, you will get rid of it. And that will be really for you just knowledge only of some good thing or knowledge of some bad, that's not sufficient. Further step is to be there, how to get rid of the bad and how to keep connected with the good. That is the work of God, working through the Master, that He can help, He has competency to help, and He is only in this world for this purpose. He is not to oblige you, but He will Himself oblige from you if you accept His help. This is in love. As if the child is outside and mother calls the child to take food and the child comes back, then the mother feels obliged from the child that I wanted that you should come back and take your food and be restful in the house, and you have accepted my offer, my services. Thank you very much. That she will not feel that the child should feel thankful to her that she has prepared food and called him, and now she is to enjoy with the mother and not to suffer anymore. But mother in love has this feeling to get obliged from the child, that she will feel obliged that you have accepted my services. This is also the way of working of the Masters. That if you accept them, they will feel very much obliged and very much happy, and they will feel helping you more and more, more and more, more and more. If you ask him more help, they will give you all feasible help which is renderable and which is useful to you will be given. Anything which you ask for which is dangerous for you, harmful for you, will not be given. If a child asks for something, as some of children are there, the candle is burning and the child feels like catching the flame of the fire, because child knows that is very wonderful, beautiful thing, but don't know that there is also burning action, burning property. But at least mother knows, and child is very much crying and crying for finding the flame, touching the flame, but mother will not let the child find it. And perhaps the child will find that my mother is just very much enemy to me. She doesn't agree to me. What I want, she doesn't like to give me. Is she my mother? She has no love for me. That is the misunderstanding of the child. And if anything has to you in this world, my dear, take it granted that is for your good. And what is given to you, accept it. As will of God, as will of Master. Don't complain to anybody that something is missing. If something has been taken away from you, it must be some goodness which you do not know, which you will come to know afterwards that it was good really. And this is there, that in this world our mind is always thinking its own wrong ways, opposite ways. But after having been initiated, you go along with the instructions of the Master and then leave everything to him. And everything will be handled by him so wonderfully, so nicely. But don't let your mind interfere or intellect interfere, because they will always create problems. In between the relation of you and Master there should be nothing in this world. It is direct relation, and it will be really wonderful and working really nicely, and you will enjoy it. So, my dear, you are lucky ones that you have gone through all the 2 steps, and 3rd step also you are going along to keep along with the instructions of the Master and to meditate, and also to serve the mission of the Master physically. And here also you are doing some seva in this orchard, in garden, in vegetables, or some other functions which are there, which are also very commendable. Because you are serving God, you are serving directly Master. You are not serving the other initiates. Because if you serve the children of some parents, the parents will be very much pleased with you. And because they will feel that you have served their or loved their children. Because they have so much love with their children. In the same way, Master has so much love for the initiates that if you love and serve the initiates, the fellow initiates, Master will really be happy to you. So he will also be happy with your meditations, but he will be more happy with you when you serve his children, love his children as brother initiates, and then he will be really blessing you. Okay, my dear, now you take your seats for meditation.